I'm going to finally extol the virtues of something I've been raving about in life for quite a few weeks now. It's the Sonicake PocketMaster. Let me fill up the screen with you. There we are. Not very good. Focus. There we are. Lovely. This is an amazing little device. For its size, for its price, and it's just got so many functions. I can't list them off by memory, but it's got a tuner, it's got a looper, it's got 50 odd preset sounds, 50 odd variable sounds, and you can do all sorts of things with it. But not only that, when you add one of these into the mix, you have these two together, you then have the ability inside each of these pedal presets are individual pedal units, and with a little bit of jiggery pokery, let's get this around the right way, the M-Wave Chocolate Plus is what this is, and this is a MIDI controller, and what you can do is set this up so that this connects wired or wirelessly to the PocketMaster, and what will happen is you'll be able to switch on and off individual presets, individual pedals, sounds, processors within the PocketMaster. Okay, so that sounds great, doesn't it? Well, what if I said that not only could you add another one of these in that connects through the USB or the wireless, whichever one is not being used, because this has Bluetooth, USB. It's unbelievable. It acts. You can get it to act as a audio interface as well. But anyway, you can use two of these, so you can access 8 devices inside. But what if you're really, really, really greedy, and these things are very difficult to be accessed by foot? They're thumb switches. So what I really want is a box that will then reproduce these two switches in the standard foot switch form, and I have discovered exactly what I can use. Where are we? Up on the screen there, you'll see a picture, and it's very simplistic. It's 2 switches and a TRS, but then that will give you the entire range. But how do you get those switches to connect with this? And that's what this video is about. Basically, what I'm going to do is break out the switches onto some kind of socket or plug. I haven't quite decided yet. That will then plug into the separate switch unit, and that will just simply break out these two. It's extremely simplistic. It's not. There's no electronics really involved. There is soldering involved, but there's no electronics involved because it's just reproducing these switches. So let's get going. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do is to remove the back, and this needs a smallish screwdriver. So this is a size 1 Phillips. So we've got a limited amount of space here at the front. The switches we're going to break out are here and here. It's quite crowded there, not so crowded there. But basically we're going to just be taking one line. The other is the earth, so we only need like tip ring and sleeve, and see which ones they give us. Yeah, that's quite tight little thing in there, but we're going to be attaching one or two wires to these fellows once I've figured it out. Okay, so there's that. So we got a small amount of space here at the front, a little bit more here at the side, and what's that one? That'll be the reset switch. So we want to find a space that'll accommodate some kind of socket. So first of all, we need to find some kind of socket, and let's see what we can get away with. I think I found the perfect thing. I bought a few, quite a few. There's a bag of them. And what these are LM386 little circuit boards. What that is, an LM386, it's a tiny IC, but you can buy a kit from Amazon. They're less than, in the UK, they're less than £2, much less than £2, and they contain various things. And there you see the socket there. So I've stolen that because I don't use that anyway. I wire them direct to the board when I use them. So I've got a few of these kicking around. So that's our candidate. Not only that, but the size of it fits just perfectly in between these little separators here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to install it right there. I'm going to make a mark on the outside very carefully, drill a hole, and then I'll probably glue it to the board with some hot melt glue or something like that. And I'll wire out my switches from here and to here to there. Probably fold down those little fellows, and then it'll all fit nicely back once it's complete. There's the put the back on. So one moment please while I drill that hole. Okay, so I've done a few measurements, and the outer ring of this is 5.5 millimeters. It's 13 millimeters across, which is perfect. And so I've just marked the point of the center point of that right there, and then we want to measure how far down we're going to go with the so we find the center point vertically. Well, let's see, can I mark this off? No, not really. So we're going to find the center point of this across this line here, and then we'll drill a hole, and then so we're going to start with a small hole and then widen it to the appropriate size. There's that will make it fit. Maybe that's a little big. I'll just check. That might be 6 mil. Is it? That's 6.5. Yeah, so that's slightly too big. I'll go and get the appropriate size. So anyway, I'll be back with you a second. We'll get a hole in here. Okay, so our Our central point is 6mm down from the top here, so I'm just going to drill a little hole here, expand it up, and it should all fit. I've drilled my hole, but there's been a casualty. This focus, there we go. It's a capacitor. It's the capacitor is directly in line with that. I pushed my drill in too hard, and it knocked this fellow off. So I'm going to have to solder this in very carefully, a bit of microsurgery, but that's not a problem. We'll get that done, and we'll. So I'm not going to be able to obviously flow the SMD back, but I'll join a couple of tiny wires to that, and that'll be fine. That'll all work. And then our socket fits in quite neatly. There we go, into there. I'll probably put a blob of glue behind it or something that'll stop it from being pushed out when you push the plug in. But yeah, pretty good success. I am tempted to drill out a little countersink here, just so you can get the plug in. Maybe clear out a little bit of that plastic there, and give it a bigger hole, so that when you get your let's see, where's the plug? When you get your jack plug in there, there's one. It'll go all the way in properly. So it just needs a little 1/2 mil drill flattened at the top there, so I'll get that going. One moment please. Okay, so there I've soldered 2 tiny wires. It won't focus. To the capacitor. Oh, it's in autofocus. Hang on a second. There we go. 2 tiny wires to the capacitor. I'm going to now solder onto the circuit board. There it is. There's the, whoops, there we go. There it is, soldered into place on the board. I'm not going anywhere. Okay, so now we're going to wire up the switch. Well, the 2 switches. All we're going to need are the positive wires, which are going to be one of these 4s and one of the negative wires, and we're going to wire that into the TRS socket. There we have it. We have our one switch positive, that one there, and the other switch positive, this one here, and the negative. The negative is the same for both of them. So basically all we'll be doing is connecting one side or the other to the ground, and that will set the switch. So now we're going to tuck this neatly into here and fold those down, and that's just come off, so that's going to be resoldered. And one moment please. So here we are, we have it. Here is our new socket. I put some I've stuck it down to the circuit board with a bit of double-sided tape, and then this is some double-sided nano gel tape, which is kind of thicker and more soft, more bouncy. So there we have switch A and switch B. There's a repaired capacitor. I'll tuck that in down here. There we are. Keep that out of the way. And that's our socket on the outside. Now all we need is a switch. And here we have the thing reassembled. I just screwed the back on. That's what it looks like. The socket is quite inconspicuous, there at the front, and all it'll need is a cable plugged into there and a cable plugged into the switch, which is arriving soon, or I will build one, and then we're just about complete. So that's the main modification, really, is to get in there and outsource the switches. So finally, here is the finished product. We have the socket at the front there. That's going to have a TRS, a mini TRS. Where's the cable? It's gone again. There it is. That's going to have a mini TRS cable that's going in the front there. And now I'm going to build the box at the front. Just the basic version. I'm going to get a nice one coming through the post soon. Okay, so I went to B&Q, which is our local big box DIY store, and I bought some of this, the length of this. It's 1 meter long, cost me £16, and it was it's a bit thick. It's quite gutsy. The metal, very strong, very solid, and so what I did is I cut into the ends, just cut the ends off with just a little bit there, to make flaps that then folded down, and then I cut this whole bottom section out, and that has created this. I've already, as you can see, I put one of the things already in there. But yes, I've made a very simple little folded box. I'm not going to do any welding or anything silly like that, because I mean this is really very strong steel. It's like, I think there's 1.5 mil. Anyway, so this is going to house the two foot switches, and I'm going to put in a standard 1/4 inch TRS socket, and I'm gonna put another one of these in there in parallel. So everything's in parallel, all very simple. And then once that's all in, this one will plug into the other, and this will be general purpose, so it'll work in whether it's using 1/4 inch or 1/8 inch or 1/4 inch. So that's the way I've made this. I'll just assemble it. One moment, please. Okay, and finally, this is our finished article. You see, I've got the 1/4 inch and the 1/8 inch there, and we have our 2 foot switches, left and right, up and down, whatever they're going to be, and the plug that we made earlier, where are we? There we are. Is going to now plug into the 1/8 inch jack. It all depends on what switch you've got. This is like a generic switch. You can buy them on eBay. They come from China in about a week, and it'll be far superior to that. This took a lot of work, and you can buy them for a lot less than the work. However, if you really want, I can publish the details of this. Just let me know in the comments downstairs. So look, here we are. This is the down, and this is the up. Press both of them together, you get the tuner. Press them both long and you get the looper. Both long again. Get me out of there. There we are. So there you go. We've reproduced these two buttons in nice heavy duty over-engineered metal, and I'm just wondering what to do about the bottom. I'm quite pleased with the way the box has turned out. You know, being a complete amateur, you know, I got this, where is it? Yeah, there's a little curve at this end and at that end, because, you know, I just hammered them home. But anyway, what I'm looking for is suggestions as to what I should mount this on. My first thought is to cut a sheet of metal and fold the ends over in the same way, and then pop a screw in. That's probably going to be my go-to. Or I've been looking around for a piece of plastic or something like that. Anyway, let me know what you think down in the comments. And that's it. Thank you very much. See you next time.